Need Pokemon Go PvP coaching? Well, I'm a Metafy. Go to the video description and click on that link. It'll take you right to my page. What's up, guys? I have a very exciting team today. Actually, I always say it's a very exciting team, but this time, the excitement level through the roof. This team is incredible. It's taken me on so many 5-0s. It was hard to choose even which set of games or which series of games I wanted to show. 11-game win streak, playing against pretty much all legends. This team is insane in the remix meta. Before we get into it, huge shout out to my Patreon supporters. Could not be doing this without you guys. But yeah, let's get right into this video. All right, so while this first game rolls, this isn't a different set. This was the beginning of the 11-game win streak. I want to talk a little bit about replacements for this team. Shadow Mawile, Shadow Dragonair, Shadow Flygon. These are not the most accessible shadows to build, right? So let's talk about some replacements. The identity of this team is essentially a double Dragon Breath team, or Dragon Tail is the same thing as Dragon Breath nowadays. So the lead, I've settled on Shadow Mawile. That's from Latin, so LATT1N on my stream actually suggested it. I was running Empoleon originally. Well, Spuddox helped me suggest that one as well. But Empoleon, great replacement for Shadow Mawile. I think Empoleon has pretty much just the same potential as Shadow Mawile here. The fire damage is nice from Mawile, but Empoleon resists everything that you need to run. And I know I'm not very creative. You know, the whole Empoleon Double Dragon thing has been played through in Ultra League, but in Great League it really hasn't. It's still kind of, people don't expect it. It's still pretty creative at this point, I guess. So Empoleon, great replacement for Shadow Mawile, works wonders. You guys should all have an Empoleon. As far as the dragons go, Shadow Flygon can be replaced by Shadow Dragonite or Dragalge. I think it can be replaced by as well. Dragonair, Shadow Dragonair is probably the best at what it does here because it can win the one shield back versus Froslass. But honestly, you could even run like Gyarados or Dragon Breath Gyarados or something like that in the Dragonair position. You could even run Flygon if you had it there too, or you could run the Dragalge I said earlier as well. You essentially just need two dragons in the back with Dragon Tail pressure. Shadow is strongly preferred for all these except for Dragalge, where you can't get Shadow. But yeah, let's get into the gameplay. So here we go. The Dragonite lead, Shadow Dragonite lead. Mawile pretty good against this, but at the same time we're playing ABB, so we're gonna want to swap out at some point. In this case, I'm gonna throw the Play Rough first at the Hypno. Play Rough does an absolute ton of damage if it lands. So yeah, there we go. And swap into Dragonair to try just farm that Hypno down. Dragonite comes back, and yeah, Dragonite is not a Dragonair counter. Doesn't matter how evolved you are in this game, you know. Dragonair actually has a pretty good matchup versus Dragonite because it has a little bit more bulk, so you can shield through all that damage. I probably could have even swapped right off the bat in that game as well. Golbat, great matchup for Shadow Mawile. These guys will usually swap out, but if they don't, like this game, and they throw the Poison Fang, then I'm just going to swap out instead. It's not like the backline is bad against Golbat either. So we'll just eat that Poison Fang, waste their energy, waste their debuff, and get into Shadow Dragonair and kind of force out whatever they have. In comes Ivysaur, so yeah. This is the advantage of this team. There's no place for grass types to go. So if your opponent is running a single grass type, it's very likely that you'll be able to win the game. And in this case, we do have Ivysaur as that grass type, and it's able to take out Dragonair, but at what cost? They're already down a shield. They're still down switch. Or sorry, not down switch, but they must have something in the back that is able to take down both these Pokemon. And in this case, it's Obstagoon comes in. I probably should have thrown the Power Up Punch first. Power Up Punch off of Shadow Mawile actually deals a ton of damage to Obstagoon. I did not realize it at this point. Most people will actually shield it. So think of it kind of as a nuke just to get that shield down. In this case, I am going to get the shield regardless at the end. And be able to farm this thing down with 2 shields. So pretty much the game plan for this team, swap into Dragonair, sacrifice it, and then decide which of Mawile or Flygon you're going to give your 2 shields to, and take down the rest of their team. In this case, Mawile deserved the 2 shields, right? We saw their full team. Now, Obstagoon was not a big deal. Flygon decided to just let him go down, save those 2 shields for Mawile. Next game, we have a Shadow Hitmonchan lead. This is not great for Mawile, so we're going to go right into Dragonair. And in comes Bronzong. This is tough. Bronzong switching is one of the worst, I would say. If it's running Bulldoze, then Mawile runs into some real big troubles. If it's running payback, you're completely fine. So I had just gotten hit by Bulldoze in a previous set, so I was very wary of this. But at the same time, you can't afford to shield your Mawile here. I was kind of committing to the 2-shield Flygon at this point. And just let through this move. I think this one is a Psyshock. If they have Bulldoze, you'll just get one shot. It is what it is. And then in comes Hitmonchan. We're going to try and catch a Thunder Punch on Flygon. It usually runs Thunder and Ice Punch, right? So make sure you catch the right punch there. And in comes Whiscash. So this matchup is pretty easy too. I don't really need to throw these Dragon Claws against Whiscash. You can just shield everything and should be able to take it down. Yeah, they're throwing Mud Bombs. Yeah, sorry, you can take it down from full health. I don't have full health, so it is a bit of a tough scenario. I'm gonna throw the Dragon Claw here, and then it's gonna be tough to take this Whiscash down. So we're actually gonna make another catch. Actually, yeah, I had to play very well this game to win it. This was a very tough game. 2 catches to win it, and 3 Dragon Tails is just, they can only get 4 Mud Shots in, so they can't get to the Mud Bomb. And we're gonna have a Dragon Claw ready for the Hitmonchan. And we actually could have even thrown an Earth Power here for the overkill, for the BM, but not needed in this case. Yeah, you can see how much damage. This is another fast move pressure team. I've been making a lot of these this season. I've been playing a lot of charge move related teams previously, so I'm trying to get my fill. Obstagoon lead, this is maybe one of the worst leads. Not because it's good against Mawile, but because my switch, which I want to switch into, doesn't have a very good matchup versus Obstagoon. So here, I probably should have thrown my Aqua Tail earlier to weaken Lagoon, but instead in comes Pidgeot. This is fine. I'm gonna go into Mawile and just get a nice big farm here. It's likely a Feather Dance. Pidgeots only know how to Feather Dance, so we'll tank that, no problem. Attack fell. Just means that there's going to be more farm for my Mawile. Or not. Either way, not going to shield anything here. Could be a Brave Bird. That's fine. But my attack has dropped twice, so we're going to swap right into that Flygon. And in comes Nidoqueen. Not going to shield the first one. I don't think they actually built up to the Earth Power. So I'm going to throw the Dragon Claw. I'm going to shield up this next Poison Fang. And just be able to Dragon Tail down this Nidoqueen. And get one more big move off on this Obstagoon. As long as this Goon shields this, or if they don't, that's fine too. Then I could get a big play rough off on the Goon, but they're going to just take the move and get taken down. That's Frosty ACY as well. Fantastic battle leaderboard player as well. So it was a... Like, I'm not playing against just random people. These are very good battlers I'm playing against. Shadow Victreebel. Oh, yes. This is what you love to see. In comes Blastoise. So we're going to come in with Dragonair. In this case, I know Blastoise runs Ice Beam, but I don't know the counts. Bit of a moment for me. So we're going to throw the Aqua Tail here, just so I know I can get there before they get to an Ice Beam. And they shield, which makes me think they're going to be able to get to the Ice Beam. So I'm going to throw another Aqua Tail, which they shield again, which makes me think Ice Beam. So well played to my opponent, even though it's just a Hydro Cannon. I should have been able to count this. This is technically my fault. But in comes Victreebel, and Victreebel is not that good either against Dragonair. In this case, they swapped to Rainy. I could have probably gotten that not Draco Meteor, Dragon Pulse off, but I got a little bit scared, a little cold feet, and just decided to throw the Aqua Tail. Came in with Flygon, and one Dragon Claw should be enough to take it out. Shadow Vic might be able to take it down, but we have a full HP Shadow Mawile just waiting to go. And yeah, the rest is history. As a Shadow Victreebel player, I hate seeing this Shadow Mawile, so it's nice to be on the other end of that. Yeah, so first 5-0. It's 6 in a row, I believe, at this point. And we'll keep on trucking. Like I said, I started with Empoleon. This was my first full set with Shadow Mawile, and even not knowing the matchups, I was able to pull off a 5-0. Shadow Golbat lead yet again. Like I said, they usually swap out, so... Poliwrath lead. Sorry, Poliwrath swap, very tough. This is actually maybe the toughest swap for the team. Dynamic Punch almost takes Shadow Dragonair out. And it does enough damage such that you actually need to throw your moves to try and win this. I probably should have just went for the Dragon Pulse, but they shielded my Aqua Tail anyways, even though I wasn't at it. And then I have to make a pretty tough decision. I'm going to come in with the Flygon and get a farm advantage. I will have to shield. Most of these Poliwraths aren't running Ice Punch anymore, so that's good. But Dynamic Punch does so much damage, it doesn't really matter anyways. In comes Alolan Sandslash, and this is where I've realized it's the Shadow Mawile show. So we're going to Power Up Punch and just start going. This Golbat throws very early, so Poison Fang. Gonna no-shield that. Does actually much more damage than I thought it would. Yeah, I'm gonna shield up. And Alolan Sandslash is double weak to fire and fighting. So we're gonna save this Power Up Punch for the Alolan Sandslash. And hopefully these Fire Fangs just absolutely chunk it down. Yeah, look how much damage that Power Up Punch does. It's absolutely ridiculous. They get to an Ice Punch, but then Flygon has free reign here. And I had the Dragon Claw ready to go, so if they didn't shield the Power Up Punch, it wouldn't have really mattered anyways. Yeah, that Power Up Punch, a lot of damage. Don't underestimate the damage against a lot of these squishy Pokemon in Remix. Alright, Sirfetch'd lead. We're going to swap right away into Dragonair. If this goes well, you only have to shield once, and you can just farm all the way down. But likely they'll switch out once they realize that's happening. No, not this case, but usually people will. They're going to come in with Probo. Actually, seen a couple of these, and it's nice seeing these on the Dragonair. You can really weaken them down with the Aqua Tails. They add up. Yeah, so getting 2 Aqua Tails off is a pretty big deal. We get a shield back from the one we spent earlier, and we're in a pretty good spot. Mawile, pretty good against Probopass and Bastiodon, because it doesn't really take too much damage, and these Power-Up Punches add up. Magnet Bomb actually does quite a bit of damage, and unfortunately they catch my Power-Up Punch on a Fire Pokemon. Very tough. So Shadow Ninetales comes in, and they build up to what could be an Overheat. So I respect it. Just a Weather Ball, so we're going to farm down instead. No need to throw there. I don't know why I threw. But at the same time, I think I'm just trying to get that Ninetales out of the way. I realized that my Flygon has a pretty good matchup versus this Probo, and so does my Mawile in the back, so it doesn't really matter too much here. Yeah, they're going to get a move off, but by this time the Probo is so low, it shouldn't matter. I think I was trying to stop the Weather Ball damage coming through, because I thought I could take something from Probo. But the Rock Slice did a little bit too much damage. Next matchup, yeah, more Legend players. We got this Obstagoon lead. I don't like seeing these, but it is what it is. Yeah, we're going to no-shield this first one, just in case they do have... And there's a Cross Chop out of nowhere on that one. So in this case, going to go for the Aqua Tail. This just means that maybe they can't farm me all the way down, but this is my first time them actually farming me all the way down, so... Turns out they can. You should probably just go for the Dragon Pulse and try and make them throw energy at you. Alright, so Mawile comes back in. Those Cross Chops deal a bit more damage than I thought, but once again, right, you're playing 2-shield. You're playing 2-shield something. I've decided, hey, this time I'm playing 2-shield Flygon. If they didn't swap out when I had my Dragonair in there, they probably don't have anything good against dragons at all. So 2-shield Flygon is very safe. So that's how you kind of make a team read there. If I swap in Dragonair and they stay in with Obstagoon, they don't have a Charmer. They don't have a Steel type or anything like that. We're just going to stay in with Flygon. Just get our 2 shields and take down whatever's in the back. In this case, there's Golbat, but we're almost at 2 charge moves, which won't be quite enough. But it will with the extra Dragon Tail at the end. If they farm me all the way down, ooh, it is enough. Then they'd be able to take down the Mawile with back-to-back Poison Fangs as well. So, very close game, actually. Those Obstagoon leads are very tricky. I feel like they're toss-ups. I feel like they should be good, because you're leading a Fairy into Obstagoon, and then they just aren't. Alright, Wigglytuff lead. This is exactly where you need to see it. I go for the Power-Up Punch. In hindsight, I should just go for the Play Rough, because they're not going to shield this. And then you have to shield their move anyways. So I try and go for the Power-Up Punch again here, to try and take them out before they get to their move. But I underestimate the damage from Power-Up Punch. Oh no, I don't. What? It went differently at a different time. Must be IV dependent. So anyways, Charizard comes in onto, and I swap out. So this is what happens when you beat a lead hard enough. You still swap. It's ABB. You fought for switch, so you can give up switch. That's the entire point. So you can get that Charizard out of the way, and then you can take down a potential Charmer or Steel type with your Mawile at the end. In this case, it's a Whiscash, so Mawile is useless regardless. And just gonna go with the Flygon, and this will be a quick little Dragon Tail down. Yeah, not gonna shield that one. Can afford to let one through. Much rather let that through than a Dragon Claw, right? So yeah, and no luck for this Charizard, able to get yet another win. The other benefit of these games, like if you like winning, and if you like fast games, this is absolutely a team for you in Remix. Another Obstagoon, yep, most common lead for sure, I would say, and one that is tricky to play around. Everyone always stays in, it seems like, to throw that first move, and then it just is a matter of do they switch out or not. So this time they do. It's Hypno, and when Obstagoon switches into Hypno, might be IV dependent, but my Dragonair always makes it to this Dragon Pulse. They never shield it. And then it's just a nice little coming in with Mawile and farming down. A lot of Hypno's not running Fire Punch in this cup, surprisingly. Mostly Thunder Punches, some Ice Punches. But regardless, if it's a Fire Punch, we're taking it anyways, right? Remember, we gotta choose which Pokemon to go all in on. And this game, we're probably choosing Flygon. I'm gonna throw the Power Up Punch as a nuke to try and get a shield. If they don't shield, I can potentially stay in. But they do shield. And I stay in anyways. Just soaking up the energy that I gave to this Obstagoon so I can swap out into that Flygon. And now we have Flygon versus Golbat. Gonna let that first move through. And yeah, this is closer than I thought. Golbat does a lot more damage to Flygon than I thought it would. But they get their moves through. I'm gonna shield up, and I'm at that Dragon Tail, or sorry, Claw already. But I don't need to throw it, because I can just throw this nice big Earth Power at the Obstagoon when it comes back in, and we don't need to worry about any of that other stuff. Yeah, so always be careful. Don't be throwing moves at Pokemon that are about to faint anyways. Save the energy. It's really going to come in handy, especially with these kinds of teams. So that is it. That's 11 games in a row. Let's show some losses now. I'm bored of winning. I'm tired of winning. Let's show some losses. This next set, not so hot. I don't think I played that well. Of course, it's the rare candy set. I don't think I played that well, but this is what happens when you do have a couple tough team comps. Qwilfish, definitely not what you want to see in the lead. And then Froslass switch in. It's not too bad. Honestly, Froslass switch in is fine, because Dragonair wins shield advantage or switch, depending on how many shields they want to commit. So in this case, they throw their move. That's fine. I'm going to throw Aqua Tail here. And they have to go 2 shields down if they want to win switch, which they don't. So Dragonair actually wins the 1 shield versus Froslass. This is proof, in case you guys thought I was lying or something like that. Unfortunately, they have the perfect farm down Pokemon for this, and it is a Ferrothorn. At this point, if this Ferrothorn is running Thunder, I'm in some trouble. But if it's not running Thunder, I'm sitting pretty. So we'll see what they do. I'm going to no shield this first move, see what it is, test the waters. It is Power Whip. And they're going to swap right away into that Qwilfish. This is a bit scary too. This Qwilfish might be running Ice Beam. But I know that I can't shield. So I have to let that one through. Oh, this is tough. And my win condition was probably not that. I'm banking on them not having Thunder at this point. So farm down. Go for the double Power Up Punch. And if this is not a Thunder, this is a Power Whip, it's a win. But yeah, that's how you lose. That's how you lose with this team. You needed any help losing with it, which you might. Next game, more Legends. What can I say? Mandibuzz lead. So this is a good lead. But I play this very poorly. I think this is where I learn that you can't just mess around. So this is what I was talking about Wigglytuff earlier. Can't really just throw Power-Up Punches and win against Mandibuzz lead. They swap out anyways. I'm going to go for the big play rough on Alolan. And then going to come in with the Dragonair. So the reason I throw the Play Rough at Alolan is because they're unlikely to shield, and getting any damage through shields on this team is nice. You get like a big nuke through, it's great. So we're going to tank the Psychic, and then just farm all the way down. Dragonair has a ton of energy at this point. Hopefully it'll come in handy. Yeah, Mandibuzz comes in. I should have thrown the Dragon Pulse. Mandibuzz never shields either, so we're going to throw Aqua Tail after Aqua Tail. Then I make some poor plays. Like, for example... Oh, I do wait the switch clock. I come into the Employment. Yeah, so this is what happened. Employment is a pretty big core breaker here for this team. It's pretty good against all Pokemon. It doesn't really stomp any of them, but it does take a team effort to take down. And my shields that I saved in the back don't really do anything for this Empoleon. So I really just have to hope that my Mawile makes it to this power-up punch. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. My opponent's helping me out by throwing these moves. And yeah, I should have thrown the power-up punch at Mandibuzz, but the Empoleon would have been able to take me out with Waterfall before I could get my 2 Fire Fangs off to take down that Empoleon anyway. So very close game, but still a loss, and that was with a good lead too. So you can't lose games with this team. It is possible. Obstagoon lead. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, so we're gonna go into Dragonair. They throw right away. This is pretty standard at this point. You've probably seen this like 20 times. And in comes Hypno. Weird. Same thing. Yet again, you're gonna get to the Dragon Pulse. Pretty much take down that Hypno. They're not gonna be able to get to a move, which is great. I'm gonna wait the clock though, because I want the freedom to be able to swap into Flygon. They're gonna come back in with Goon, but like I said, look, this Goon is injured now. So it does not have, it's the same as before, except I have a big health advantage over this Goon. So that's what that's what Dragonair worked for, this health advantage on Goon. So I get the shield, and then I decide to stay in and take down the Goon. And in comes the Stunfisk at the end, and Flygon has its way with Stunfisk, especially with the shield advantage. So let's see what this next game brings us. Litleo lead. Okay, this is the worst lead possible. So Litleo absolutely stomps Mawile. And then Wigglytuff switch in. I don't know what to say about this game. This is called being incredibly hard countered by an extremely spicy team. So the way here is to... what am I doing? I should have just tried to farm all the way down, but then throw my power punches at Litleo, because I didn't even stop this Wigglytuff from getting to a move. I could have had much more farm. 2 power punches would have been quite a bit of damage versus Litleo. This is a bit of a tilted play. And then instead, I'm not able to stall the clock because I don't have a power-up punch ready to go. And they're able to take down my my Mawile. And Litleo's crunch. So hopefully it doesn't debuff. Right now I'm praying that they have like... I don't even know what has to be in the back for me to win this game. I don't even know. Maybe like a Pachirisu. But yeah, that's not a Pachirisu. Starts with a P, so close enough, right? But yeah, no, Primeape's gonna be easily able to take out Flygon here. So yeah, that's 3 losses already in this set. Hopefully you can salvage a 2-3. Much better sounding than a 1-4. Nidoqueen lead. So I also play this one a bit weird. I probably should have just swapped right away. I have no idea why I'm doing this. At this point, I've realized my mistake. They're going to farm up extra. They're not just going to throw Poison Jab, or sorry, Poison Fang, just at 5, which is what I wanted them to do. It's not like Golbat where that's like their option. But then they throw another Poison Fang at Dragonair, and I'm forced to take that debuff into this Probopass matchup. I'm going to throw these Aqua Tails. And Probopass actually has to throw here to take out Dragonair. So this means Mawile can come in and deal some really decent damage. You can go with the power-up punch first. If I do this, it's unlikely they'll be able to get to a move. I probably won't have to shield. And then whatever comes back in, I'm probably just going to switch out into my Flygon. Never mind. I'm going to throw this power-up punch because I can get there against the Machamp, which they shield. Great getting a shield. and I was boosted, so I figured I'd get as much damage on this Machamp as possible, hopefully get into a range where I can only have to shield once to take it down. Gonna be able to get one more Dragon Tail off, and then Nidoqueen is just history at this point. So once again, save 2 shields for 1 Pokemon. You're probably gonna win a majority of your games. And yeah, like I said, a majority of the games were won here. 2 wins out of 5. Yeah, let's see if we can avenge that. You know what? What was the... We'll find out what the anomaly set was. Was it the 0, or sorry, was it the 5-0, or was it the 2-3? Froslass lead, they go right into Obstagoon. This one's a bit tough. Obviously, you want to save your Mawile for the Froslass, but Obstagoon, you don't really have that good of a matchup verse. I'm throwing Power Up Punch here, try and get a shield. And then we're going to swap into Flygon, because Flygon has the much better matchup versus Goon. Those Dragon Tails just hit harder than the Aqua Tails, so they have to respect them. But in this case, I'm planning on just farming down anyways. Whatever comes back in, Froslass, we're going to Earth Power it. I already have shield advantage, so it's unlikely they go down 2 shields, and the Earth Power absolutely chunks. Going to come back in with Mawile, and they're going to swap right away, so... This is why you wait for your switch timer. If you swapped, if you swap late and your switch timers are desync, don't do that. That was really, really, really bad play, and it almost cost me for sure 1 game. So in this case, we still have a win condition. It's a pretty easy win condition too. Alomomola, waterfalls don't do anything to Dragonair, you resist them. So the goal here is to just 2 shield and farm all the way down. As long as you have 2 Aqua Tails on Dragonair, you can take out that Froslass. So they get the defense drop even, which would normally be scary, but we're just going to go for the Aqua Tail here. Even if they shield it, we have another Aqua Tail. So game was over already. If they shielded it, I probably would have thrown a Dragon Pulse anyways as the second move, so it would have been even stronger. They made the correct play to no shield the first one, just in case I was baiting, which I was. Escavalier, ooh, love to see it too. In comes Lantern. And we're going to go with Dragonair. I thought about this, I had a debate with someone on stream about this. Not a debate, but like I talked about it. Flygon, you'd think, would be the good switch versus Lantern, because it resists Spark by a lot more than Dragonair does. But you're threatened by Hydro Pump, so you kind of have to be very careful there. With Dragonair, it's just very safe. They're just going to throw Thunderbolt anyways. And you can just guarantee switch. So in this case, we already know we have that Escav matchup in the bag with our Mawile. So Pidgeot comes out. Not going to shield anything on Flygon. Even if that was a Brave Bird, that's fine. Mawile can take down both these Pokemon with 2 shields. This right now is just foreplay. I already know I've won the game. It's just a matter of if they want to leave or not. Yeah, an Acid Spray doesn't matter. It's not going to get to 2 moves. Pidgeot is not going to get to 2 moves. I have 2 shields. So 1 shield for each Pokemon. Mawile can take down both. Just a matter of time. Yep, and good answer to Feather Dance as well, because Power Up Punch mitigates that by quite a bit. Feather Dance doesn't really do too much. But alright, Machamp lead. We're going to swap out of this too. Shadow Dragonair is the play. And once again, same thing with Sirfetch'd. If they choose to throw, you can just 1 shield and farm all the way down and have that energy for later. In comes Melmetal. This is actually really tough for Dragonair. And for the backline, I haven't seen a Melmetal in forever, but this Melmetal lets me get 2 Aqua Tails off first, which means my Dragonair gets this Melmetal into farm down range for, honestly, either Flygon or Mawile, but I decided not to reveal my backline. We're going to go in with Mawile, take him down, and then Machamp comes in. We're going to no shield, because we're going to choose Flygon as our answer in the back, and in comes Registeel. Kind of probably should have seen this coming with the Melmetal switch in. You don't run Melmetal unless you're also running Registeel. So we're going to shield up the Flash Cannon here. I go for the big Earth Power, hoping that they maybe think I'm going to bait, but they don't. So we're going to have to make some plays here. Flash Cannon doesn't one-shot Flygon, but after all the lock-ons, it definitely does. So we're going to go for the bait this time. Honestly, didn't even go to Earth Power there. But we're going to get the shield anyways. Then 1, 2, 3, counting down to the catch. Catch this Flash Cannon. I was worried they were going to undercharge this and switch, but they didn't. So instead, I'm just going to go up a little bit more, throw this Earth Power at Registeel. This Machamp doesn't have any energy, so I'm just going to be able to take it down with just a couple of fast moves there. I didn't need to play around and mess around with getting close to Registeel's Flash Cannon damage. I knew I had the game in the bag at that point. Alright, next game, Therapist Tony. We have a Stunfisk lead. This is not a good lead, so we're going to swap out. This is a pretty good matchup for Dragonair. The Mud Bombs are neutral. They do quite a bit of damage, but Aqua Tail's super effective. And in comes Mandibuzz. This is fine. Gonna just go straight for the Dragon Pulse. Get as much damage as possible on this Mandibuzz. Like I said earlier, it's not that free of a matchup for Mawile. But we're not going to shield anything here. Went for the CMP tie and got it. And in comes Mawile. Once again, not going to throw a move. Not going to shield anything. If anything, going to be throwing a Play Rough at their Stunfisk. Yeah, but we're going to swap into Flygon instead. No shield, this Mud Bomb. And in comes Escav. So I'm going to go for the Earth Power, recognizing that I'm not going to make it to 2 Dragon Claws. And hope that my Mawile can actually just win this game. So we're going to shield up whatever this is, probably Drill Run. Luckily, it's not an Acid Spray this time. Take down the Mawile, and then it's just a matter of, can Mawile now take down this monstrous Stunfisk? This is a pretty hard counter, but with an energy advantage and being able to get off all these power-up punches, it's going to be close, and they're going to get just to that Mud Bomb there. But unfortunately for them, they're 1 away from their move. He came into chat actually and told me after it was a CMP tie. That was my feeling as well. Throwing one before CMP tie or before your second move is pretty common. So yeah, that one came right down to CMP tie. Extremely close game, and well played to my opponent. In this case, we have Froslass lead. Love to see it. And in comes Diggersby, and we're going to go into Dragonair. Oh my god. Can't believe a Diggersby match didn't show until now. This is a very important matchup to know. Very important. So they're always going to let through that Aqua Tail. If they bait you, you're going to lose this matchup, and you're going to lose the game probably. But if you shield the Earthquake, you can just farm down afterwards. So one shield, farm down. Diggersby is very tough for this team to deal with, actually. Just the bulk. So with all that farm, you can now turn that into some damage against Froslass. You can almost guaranteed get that shield back. And some damage off. Because they can't take both Aqua Tails. So actually, I'm going to get 2 shields here. Now we're going to come with the Mawile. And I don't know. Do I shield this? I usually don't. A lot of people bait. And in comes Whiscash. Good thing I saved the shield, right? Because I'm going to need it for the Whiscash. If I didn't have the shield, this Blizzard one-shots. But I get greedy. Go for the Mud Bomb. Sorry, what am I saying? Go for the Dragon Claw instead of the Earth Power. So I have this Dragon Claw for the Froslass as well. And I'm going to be able to take that Froslass out. Another Dragon Tail. So that's it. Is that yet another 5-0 set? I think so. That's 17 out of 20 wins. That's 3 5-0 sets out of 4 sets. That's 11 wins in a row. This team is really, 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 really good. I don't say that about every single one of my teams, right? But this one just feels natural to play. It's fun to play. The games are fast. My only regret is that I could only get it out. The first week of Remix is almost over. But the other thing is, none of these Pokemon are ever going to be banned in Remix. So in pretty much every Remix Cup for the foreseeable future, I don't see why this wouldn't be one of the better teams out there. So maybe worth the investment. I wouldn't probably recommend investing in Shadow Mawile as much as it was fun here. I think maybe invest in Shadow Mawile because it'll have play in Halloween Cup too. But in Open Great League and stuff like that, Shadow Mawile falls a little bit flat. Shadow Flygon, if you do have one, great investment. Shadow Dragonair, I think it's pretty good too. I think it has play in a lot of these limited cups and even in Open Great League if you can keep it away from Azu. So I do think it has play as well, but I think definitely the best investment out of these 3 would be the Flygon. Alone, they're not great Pokemon, but together they form a mighty trio. So watch out, and thanks for watching.